Being retired from your job in your 60s, having a quality time sitting in your backyard, watching flowers bloom and birds chirping, feels dreamy until you try to stand up or walk, but your lower back just doesn't cooperate. If that's you, get ready to bid farewell to your stubborn lower back pain and movement issues, as we have got you absolutely covered in this video. What if the stiffness in your hips, the aching in your lower back, the heaviness in your legs, and that sluggish, drained feeling you carry through the day all pointed back to one tiny issue most people never notice? Your hip joints simply aren't moving the way they're meant to. It sounds small, but it changes everything. Your hips aren't just hinges, they're the foundation of your movement, balance, posture, and energy. When your hips tighten, which happens to nearly everyone who sits for long hours, especially those over 50, your entire lower body switches into conservation mode. Muscles shut down, joints stiffen, blood flow decreases, and your legs feel weak, heavy, or uncoordinated, even if you're relatively active. But here's the part almost nobody realizes. Tight hips don't just limit movement. They directly affect your nervous system, your circulation, your back health, and even how energized or tired you feel. Today, I'm sharing one of the simplest yet most effective movements for unlocking your lower body: seated marching. It's a gentle, low-impact exercise you can do anywhere, at home, at your desk, even while watching TV, to activate your hip flexors, wake up your leg muscles, and restore mobility you didn't even know you'd lost. Before we begin, take a moment right now to check in with your lower body. Are your hips stiff? Are your legs feeling heavy? Do you notice tension in your lower back? Rate your lower body comfort from 1 to 10 in the comments. Let's see how many of us are walking around with tight, inactive hips. Now, let's dive in as we first have a precise look at the problem. Your hips are stiff, and your leg muscles are sleeping. Let's look at what's happening inside your body right now. Your hips are ball and socket joints designed for constant motion, walking, lifting, rotating, bending, stepping, and stabilizing. But when you sit for long periods, your hip flexors shorten, your glutes switch off, and the muscles around your thighs become deconditioned from lack of use. According to a 2023 study in the Journal of Musculoskeletal Science, the average people spend 6 to 10 hours a day seated. This prolonged sitting creates a cascade of effects. Hip flexors become tight and shortened. Glutes become weak. Blood flow to the legs decreases. Joint mobility reduces. Lower back muscles overwork to compensate. Dr. Maria Thompson, a physical medicine specialist at Johns Hopkins, explains, "The hips are the center of movement. When they lose mobility, the body recruits surrounding muscles to make up the difference, leading to chronic tension in the lower back and fatigue in the legs. This is why so many people today feel heaviness in their legs, stiffness when standing up, lower back pain after sitting, reduced walking speed, joint clicking or discomfort, trouble lifting knees or climbing stairs, general sluggishness. It's not age, it's not weight, it's not fitness level. It's the lack of movement in the hip joint. The good news? You can reverse this quickly, gently, and anywhere. But how? We are here to give you one mind-blowing solution. The solution: seated marching. Seated marching is one of the most deceptively simple exercises, but its impact is remarkable. Here's why it works. It activates your hip flexors in a controlled, pain-free way. It increases blood flow to your legs almost instantly. It wakes up your glutes and quadriceps. It improves coordination between your hips and core. It restores joint mobility without strain or pressure. It strengthens the muscles needed for daily movement. A 2024 study from Harvard's Movement and Rehabilitation Lab tested seated marching as a warm-up for older people and found 38% increase in circulation to the lower extremities, 22% improvement in seated to standing speed, significant reduction in hip stiffness after just 3 minutes, noticeable improvement in walking stability within 1 week. Not just that, Dr. Alan Mercer, one of the lead researchers, said, "The seated march is one of the most accessible and effective movements for reactivating hip mobility. It requires no equipment, can be done by anyone, and immediately wakes up the neuromuscular system." What does this mean? It means your hips and legs can begin functioning better today with a simple 3 to 5 minute routine. Yes, you don't need to go to the gym, lift heavy dumbbells, or put yourself in so much struggle. Here's how you can do it at home. The complete seated marching routine, 5 minutes. Here's a full routine you can do anytime you need hip relief or leg activation. Sit near the edge of a stable chair with both feet flat on the ground. Lengthen your spine. Relax your shoulders. Place your hands gently on your thighs. You're ready. Now, follow this step by step. Step 1. Foundation breathing. 1 minute. Before we move, we breathe. Place one hand on your belly, one on your chest. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for a count of 6. Pause for 2. Repeat this breathing pattern 5 times. As you breathe, feel your belly expand. Notice your spine lengthen. Allow your hips to soften. Let your lower body settle into the chair. This breathing prepares your nervous system and relaxes tension in your hip joints. Now you are ready for Step 2. Step 2. Warm-up leg activation, 1 minute. Keep your posture tall. Lift your right heel off the ground, then set it down. Lift your left heel, then set it down. Repeat this alternating heel raise for 30 seconds. Next, lift your toes while keeping your heels on the ground. Alternate right and left for another 30 seconds. This wakes up your ankle, knee, and hip pathways, preparing your legs for marching. Now comes the main thing. Step 3. Basic seated march, 1 minute. Now the real work begins. Sit tall. Pull your belly button slightly inward. This activates your deep core. Lift your right knee toward your chest. Lower it slowly. Lift your left knee. Lower it slowly. March at a slow, controlled pace. At this point, you need to focus on keeping your shoulders relaxed, moving from your hip joint, not your lower back, lifting only as high as comfortable. Smooth, steady breathing. Continue alternating for 60 seconds. Now we are heading towards the next step. Step 4. March with hip flexor engagement. Now we take it one level deeper. Place your hands on the sides of your hips. Each time you lift your knee, imagine your hip flexor switching on. Lift your right knee and hold for one full inhale. Release on your exhale. Lift your left knee, hold for one inhale. Release on the exhale. Repeat for 60 seconds. This increases strength and coordination in the hip flexor muscles. Step 5. Core stabilized march. Add a gentle core activation. Sit tall. Engage your abdominal muscles slightly, about 20% effort. Lift your right knee. As it comes down, lift your left knee. March with control, not speed. This step improves balance and reinforces hip-core coordination. Step 6. Wide march variation. Now place your feet slightly wider than hip width. Lift your right knee diagonally toward your right shoulder, then lower. Lift your left knee diagonally toward your left shoulder. Repeat for 30 seconds. This targets your outer hips, increasing mobility around the joint capsule. Now it's time for the last step. Step 7. Integration and reset. Sit tall with both feet on the ground. Take 3 slow breaths. Inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Feel the warmth in your legs. Feel the looseness in your hips. Feel the lightness in your lower body. Your routine is complete here. Let's look into some of the magical benefits you get out of this exercise. The benefits of seated marching. This gentle movement offers benefits that go far beyond hip mobility, such as you get 1. Increased circulation to the lower body. Seated marching boosts blood flow to your legs within seconds, helping reduce heaviness, swelling, and sluggishness. 2. Improved hip flexor strength. Weak hip flexors contribute to lower back pain and reduced walking speed. This exercise targets them safely. 3. Better balance and stability. By coordinating your hips and core, you strengthen the muscles responsible for upright posture and stable movement. 4. Reduced lower back pressure. When your hips move properly, your back doesn't have to compensate, easing tension and discomfort. 5. Warmed up leg muscles. Perfect before walking, working out, or standing for long periods. 6. Enhanced mobility for daily activities. Climbing stairs, getting out of a car, rising from a chair, all become easier. 7. Ideal for older adults and beginners. No equipment, no standing, no risk of falling. Completely accessible. 8. Great for office workers. You can do it at your desk, during a break, or whenever your hips feel stiff. 9. Supports joint health. Movement nourishes the joint capsule and prevents stiffness. 10. Boosts energy and mood. When blood flow increases, oxygen increases, and so does energy. Studies show that hip activation is directly linked to improvements in mood and cognitive function due to increased circulation. As you adapt this 7-step exercise routine, you need to have a closer eye on a few common mistakes many people make. You'd better avoid them to maximize the benefits. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't lean backward. Keep your spine neutral. Don't rush the movement. Don't lift your knees using momentum. Don't lock your lower back. Don't hold your breath. Don't compare your right and left sides. Remember, one side will always be tighter. That's normal. Now, your next question could be when and how often to practice. You can practice seated marching. First thing in the morning, loosen hips after sleep. Before workouts, as a gentle warm-up. During long work sessions to reverse hip tightness. Before bed, to relax the lower back. Anytime your hips feel stiff. For best results, do this routine twice daily. For severe stiffness, perform 3 to 4 times a day. Even 2 minutes can make a noticeable difference. You cannot overdo this gentle movement. Modifications for different needs. If you have hip pain, lift your knee only an inch or 2. If you have lower back issues, place a cushion behind your lower back for support. If you have tight hamstrings, move to the edge of the chair to create more hip space. If you have limited mobility, simply lifting the heel or sliding the foot forward provides benefits. If you want to increase the challenge, hold each knee lift for 2 to 3 seconds. You can take a screenshot of this complete routine's all 7 steps. Complete 5-minute routine. Step 1, foundation breathing, 5 breath cycles. Step 2, heel plus toe activation, 1 minute. Step 3, basic seated march, 1 minute. Step 4, hip flexor march, 1 minute. Step 5, core stabilized march, 30 seconds. Step 6, wide march variation, 30 seconds. Step 7, integration breathing, 30 seconds. Frequency, minimum twice daily. This 5-minute seated marching routine isn't just a warm-up. It's a reset for your hips, legs, and lower body energy. It brings circulation back into muscles that have been shut down by hours of sitting. It restores movement to joints that crave mobility. And it gives your lower body the activation it needs to support your day with strength and ease. You don't need a gym. You don't need equipment. You don't need perfect form. Just 5 minutes. twice a day, anywhere. Start today. Do this routine every day for 7 days and notice how much lighter your legs feel, how much easier it is to stand up, how much less tension you feel in your hips and lower back, and how much more energized you feel throughout the day. Come back after 1 week and share your progress in the comments. And if this routine helped activate and warm up your lower body, share it with someone who spends long hours sitting and needs this gentle reset. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. See you in the next episode.